Ye tu sarvani karmani Mai sanyasya matparaha Ananye naiva yogena Mam dhyayanta upasate Teshamaham samudharta Mrityu sansara sagara Bhavami nachirat partha Maya veshita chetasa.
Swami Mukundananda is a global spiritual leader, Bhakti saint, best-selling author, and a beacon of spiritual wisdom and inspiration. With a mission to inspire and transform lives, Swamiji's teachings bring ancient Vedic wisdom into the modern world. His insights on mind management, holistic living, and selfless devotion to God have touched millions worldwide. Join us on this journey where timeless wisdom becomes practical. Subscribe now.
Translation: But those who dedicate all their actions to me, regarding me as the supreme goal, worshipping me and meditating upon me with exclusive devotion, O Parth, I swiftly deliver them from the ocean of birth and death, for their consciousness is united with me. Lord Krishna previously explained that the path of Jnana Yoga is full of tribulations and difficulties because it goes against the nature of the mind. Now he contrasts it with the path of bhakti or loving devotion. And he refers to material existence as an ocean of life and death. Have you ever been to a forest at night? It's a pretty dangerous proposition because any creature could attack you at any time. I was once in Boston and my host, behind his house was a forest. So not at night, in the daytime I said I'll go for a walk. He said, Swamiji, take a stick with you. I said, why? He said, they are coyotes. I said, coyotes will attack me? He said, they got rabies in their mouth. Then I better carry a stick. But imagine going into the forest at night. And if you believe in ghosts, there could be ghosts as well. But worse than the forest is the ocean. You know, the ocean, if you are in the center of the ocean, it is quite a proposition with endless waves. And there, if you get into a trouble, then there is no help anywhere. Down you go. So, this material existence is likened to that ocean where the soul is being tossed around since so many lifetimes. Sometimes we get born in higher species, sometimes in lower species. In this life itself, think of the various challenges that you have had to face. No matter how wealthy your birth may have been, how much of education you may have received, you have still had to face all these challenges. There is disease that strikes. You can follow all the rules of good health and still you will fall sick. That's the nature of the material body. You can keep on trying your best to keep old age at bay, but there is nobody who can conquer the disease called death. And after death, there is life again. So Shankaracharya has written, Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam, iha sansare khaludustare Kripaya pare pahi murare, bhaj govindam, govindam, bhaj mudhamate. He says, we take birth and then one day we die. And we hang after that upside down in some mother's womb, only to take birth again and one day to die again, and again reach another mother's womb and hang upside down. This has been going on since so many lives. And ultimately we are stuck with this material mind that sometimes displays anger or desire or greed. And you keep on trying your best, still it goes out of control. So Lord Krishna says that, look, I will deliver you by my grace. So what does that mean? Then we just sit down and say, God, grace me. So I have stopped all sadhanas. I don't need to attend Swamiji's retreat. I just wait for grace nowadays. His grace plus our effort, both are necessary. Grace is essential. That soul who thinks, I will do it by myself, they had better think again. Self-effort has its limitations. So that is why Lord Krishna says elsewhere in the Gita, Mat prasadadavapnoti shashvatam padamavyayam. That ultimate destination, Parampad, will only be attained by my grace. However, to become the recipient of that grace, we must put in our effort as well. That is why the Shvetashvatar Upanishad states, Tapa prabhava deva prasada cha. Your austerities and the grace of the Lord. Sri Aurobindo, he writes in his book, The Mother, he puts this so nicely when he says, there are two great powers alone that can effect in their conjunction the great and difficult thing that is the aim of our endeavor, a fixed and unfailing aspiration that calls from below. A fixed and unfailing aspiration that calls from below, and a divine grace that answers from above. So our effort, how must it be? He is explaining in this verse. He says, you dedicate all your actions to me. Which means you analyze. Now how do you dedicate an action? You can say, okay, I offer $100 to God. Or I have brought milk, I offer it to God. Now how do you dedicate your actions to God? It is by your intention. When your intention is, I am doing this for His pleasure, that means you are dedicating your work to Him. So at the root of it, spirituality is about clarifying and purifying the intention. He says, when the intention behind all your works is my pleasure, you're dedicating your works, and matpara, you see me as your supreme beloved and engage in my single-minded devotion. You attach your mind to me. And then, with such exclusive devotion when you worship me, I will deliver you. So He has now given us a simple path to reach Him. The path of bhakti, the path of love. See, love is such a deep emotion that is natural to humans. The Jnani says love is all wrong, just cancel it. The devotee says, no, dovetail that emotion in the right direction. Then the journey becomes so easy, you don't need to deny anything. You just need to orient it correctly. In this path of bhakti, the spirituality becomes natural and spontaneous. What do you love doing? Swamiji, I love to read. Okay, read the glories of God, read the sacred books. No, Swamiji, I love to write. Write the glories of God. Broadcast His divine knowledge. Somebody says, I'm not the intellectual kind. I like to dance and sing. Great. We got just the right party for you. Come, we'll dance until you can dance no more. And if you like to sing, in the world, I went to somebody's house. They've got this karaoke creator where they take a Bollywood song and they run it through a software that uses AI to remove the lead singer's voice, so they land up with the karaoke, and then they get the lyrics from the internet, and then they sing, "Main shayar to nahi." But here we sing for so many hours that activity of singing is retained. We have not renounced it. We have just dovetailed it. It's a question of understanding. This is the actual vairagya. Vairagya means renunciation. So there is one Falgu vairagya, where the Jnani says you renounce everything because it's all Maya. And the devotee says Maya is God's energy. You don't have to renounce, you have to properly utilize it. This talent to sing, where do you think it came from? Oh, it's come from my genes. So where did your parents' genes come from? Their parents' genes? Well, ultimately you trace it back to the first, the father of all. The Supreme Lord is the source of all talents and energies in this world. So everything has come from Him. To say it is mithya, it is maya, is incomplete understanding. The true perspective should be, all I have has come from God, and its proper utilization should be in His service. In fact, that is our responsibility. As Muhammad Ali put it so well, the legendary Muhammad Ali, service to others is the rent we pay for our boarding on this earth. We have got some place on this earth that we occupy for ourselves. We need to pay rent to the divine, and that is service to others. That is why the most apt expression of this is that whatever talents we have are God's gift to us. And whatever gifts we have, what we do with it will be our gift to God. So if we have got many gifts, then we have a bigger responsibility. Somebody gave you a check of $1 million and said, use it properly. Now you have a bigger responsibility. So if God gave you talents, then you better be careful that you use it in the proper way. So, in this path of bhakti, you utilize all those energies in the glorification and pleasure devotion of the Lord. Hence, bhakti is a spontaneous and natural path all around the world. You will find the best paintings were done in the spirit of devotion. The best architecture was created in the spirit of devotion. The best literature was written in that form. It is just natural. If we can just have faith in the methodology, half the journey is accomplished. The confusion arises when we are not sure, what am I supposed to do? You came to Swamiji, he said, love God. You went to somebody else, he said, no, you awaken the Kundalini. Then you went to the third person, he said, meditate on the nose. And so on. Now you do a little of this, little of this, little of that, little of that. So it's like digging 50 wells and getting water nowhere. And if you can just reach a conclusion, this is what I am supposed to do. After that, it's just practical implementation. Now let's say you wish to go from here to San Antonio. You go 10 miles and they say, yeah, this road doesn't seem right. You come back and ask somebody. That guy says, you go this way, you are wrong direction. You start going off towards Houston, then he says, this doesn't seem right. You come back again. Next person, he sends you off towards Oklahoma. So you've done a lot of up and down, but not come any closer to San Antonio. So just have a little bit of faith. Faith in whom? In Swamiji? Absolutely not. Right? See, have faith in the scriptures. All the Vedic scriptures are telling you the essence of it all is love for God. Hence Saint Kabir has said, Pothi padhi padhi jag mua, pandita hua na koya, dhai akshar prem ke padhe so pandita hoya. He says that people, they lived and died reading the scriptures, but none of them became a pandit, the knower of the scriptures. And these 2.5 syllables, prem or love, the one who understood that, he understood all the scriptures. Hence, one Sufi saint, he says, Ved, Avastha, Al, Quran, Injil, Neel, Kavau, Utakhanau, Atish, Kada. He says, I have read the Vedas, I have read the Quran, I have read the Torah and the Bible. His friend, another fakir, he said, what are you talking about? You've read all these scriptures, I know you're illiterate. And you claim to have read the Vedas that are in Sanskrit, and the Torah which is in Hebrew, and the Bible which is in Latin, and the Quran which is in Arabic. He said, look, all these scriptures are teaching us how to love God. I have understood that. Hence, I am the knower of all these scriptures. So that is what Lord Krishna is saying. It is so simple. That tribal lady Shabari, she went so much ahead just through her love. How do we get that kind of love? Shree Krishna has established it as the supreme purificatory elevating process in this verse. Now after this, he is going to tell us what to do. Let's see.